Okay, so in this lesson we're going to look at circles. We're still looking at perimeter and area. The only thing is when we talk about a circle's perimeter, that's the circumference. So you might just want to write on that word, that's the perimeter. The circumference is the perimeter of a circle. That's the word they use. So the circumference, we've got a couple of formulas and you can see that down there. So here where they're saying C equals 2 pi times R or pi times D, that's the two different, where R is the radius. So remember the radius is this one here where you're going from the middle to the edge, okay? And the other formula has D in it, which it stands for diameter. So diameter is when you're going across the whole circle across like that. Okay, what I prefer that you use, I prefer you use this one for circumference, the C equals 2 pi R. This is the one I would prefer you use because you'll notice in our area circle, our area formula, area has the radius in it, and that's the only way you can find area is using the radius. So let's just probably stick to the two formulas that have radius. So no, we've always got to find that radius, which is from the center to the edge. Okay, you've done circles before in previous years, so that's probably nothing too new with that bit. You're going to get asked to find maybe this annulus. Now, an annulus, often kids will just know it as the donut shape. Just call it doesn't matter if you want to call it the donut shape. That's what you're going to do. So when you've got to find the area, so when we're finding the area of an annulus or the donut, what you do is you find the area of the large circle and you minus the area of the small circle. So if you look here, we're going to write this formula over here, this area in this one. So they've called the radius of the big circle a capital R. So I could say pi times the big R squared. So see how the R is when you go from the center of the donut all the way out to the outer edge. That's the big R. And then you could say that minus pi times the little r. I'll change the color for you, R squared. That's when you just go to the center and out to the edge of the hole of the donut. So that's a quick way you can find you can just plug that all in when you need to. And we'll see it in a minute in an example. Now, when they want the arc of a circle is a length between 2 points. So here, an arc is this edging length. So it's like a piece of the perimeter. So maybe write that, a piece of the perimeter equals an arc, okay? So this is the formula you're going to use, and they often use the little s to say for arc, but that's okay, doesn't matter too much. And you can see they're using the radius again, so you'll need the radius. And you also need this angle in here, and the angles between those in there. So you'll see it in the diagram. So we have from one point we're going to the center, and out from the other point. So that angle in there is the angle you need. And you'll see it, they'll give that in all the questions. So let's go and have a look at some questions. Sorry, this is a bit more. So it says, for the circle shown, find A, we've got to find A, the circumference. So you see you've got a circle, so write the formula. So circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. And then you just substitute in, it'd be 2 times pi times the radius, which is 3.8. And then you do that on your calculator. Now, pi is a button on your calculator. So pi is down next to H on your alphabet near on the calculator. If you get your answer with pi written in it, that's an exact answer. Just press Control Enter to get the decimal. And then we want 1 decimal place, so when I do that, I get 23.9, and it's in centimetres. So remember, the circumference is a length, the perimeter is a length. Okay, then we're going to go to part B, and B is asking me for the area of that circle to 1 decimal place. So we'll just write the formula. Area of a circle is pi r squared. So it's pi times the 3.8 squared, and you just type that in your calculator. Okay, and when we do that, it said 1 decimal place, so I've got 45.4. An area is now a squared unit, so remember to put a squared on the centimetre. Okay, a path 1 metre wide is built around a circular lawn. So what you're going to do, you've got a circle lawn, so here's my lawn here, and you've got a path around it that's 1 metre wide. So that thing, you're going to have a path around like that, yeah, and they're saying that's 1 metre wide. Around the lawn that's got a radius of 4.8. So my diagram's a little bit off, so I'm going to draw it a bit different. I'll draw my circle a bit bigger. So they're saying the lawn has a 4.8 radius, and then you've got a little path around it. Okay, and they're saying that the path is 1 metre long, wide. And that was 4.8. So it says find the area of the path. So what they want is this area here. They want the path area. So when you see that, what type of shape is that? Donut, which is called a annulus. So they want the area. So what we're going to write, we can go back to our notes and we can look at it. And it was pi times the big R squared minus pi times the little r. So here, the little r is this green one. So that is the 4.8 squared, okay? So that's the little r. The big R is when you go from the middle all the way to the edge. So up to here would be 4.8, but then we've got to add the 1. So what does the 5 equal? 5.8, good. So you plug that in, that one's 5.8 squared, but we'll put in all the rest. We'd have pi times that minus pi times that. So you could pop it in brackets if you like. I'll just tidy that up. So it's pi times 5.8 squared minus pi times 4.8 squared. And you type that in the calculator exactly like that. Okay, so it said correct to 2 decimal places. So our final answer is going to be 33.30 metres squared. So that's how much the area of the path might be. So, okay, find correct to 2 decimal places the length of an arc with the angle of 40 degrees and the centre of the circle and at the centre of the circle and the circle radius of 7 centimetres. So what they're going to say is you've got a circle, okay, and they're saying that the radius is 7 centimetres. And what they're saying when they say we've got an arc length, so remember the arc length goes around the edge, so between 2 points. So I'm just making this up. But what they're saying is the angle between them at the centre is 40 degrees, okay? So when we got told the formula for arc length, we had to, they used the letter S, and it was, if you go back, so it is R times the angle over 180 times pi, okay? So that's the formula you got to use. So here you substitute in, you got 7 times 40, because that's the angle, over 180 times pi. So plug that into your calculator. Okay, so it said to decimal places, so I get 4.89, and this is a length, so it's just centimeters. There we go.